Happy day, many blessings to you out there. I thought I'd address a question that came up to me about a month ago that I've never gotten to. And this question relates to getting bored during meditation. What do you do when you get bored? After 10 minutes sitting there and you're going ho hum, I'm ready to get some action, to do something. How do you move through that piece of the journey? Well, the first thing is to know a little bit more about meditation, to have an idea that meditation is not entertainment, and boredom is looking for entertainment. It's looking away to fill the space, to fill the gap. And meditation is about opening into the space, to breathing and being in the gap. So just like breath, the inhale, there's a pause at the top, and then there's an exhale, and a pause at the bottom. The meditation is at that pause. That's where the magic is. Of course, we're present through the inhale and the exhale, but that pause is the window into the magic. Now, in life, we are accustomed to having everything be, so many things being in entertainment, being around our friends, watching TV, watching movies, being on the iPod, video games, there's so many, everything that you see, every billboard is about buying a car that gives you more action, more feel, more excitement, more entertainment. Everything is about filling every moment possible, so we're not paying attention or taking the time to be present with what is, to be still. To be still with what is. So the boredom comes up. This is going to be a natural form of resistance of the ego. It wants out of there. So it's going to find any way to get you out of being present. So I'm speaking present as equal to meditation. So meditation, coming in and training into the moment, being present with what is. And in that presence, the ego is so used to being in thinking mode. That's how the ego works and knows it's alive, is through thinking. So it's going to attempt to think its way out of this present thing as quickly as possible. So however it can do that, it's going to do it. And if it decides that boredom is going to get you out of there quicker so it can remain alive and thrive as the ego, it's going to do it. So maybe what you first do, if you're getting bored in meditation, look at how you're trying to fill every gap in your life. Are you always trying to entertain yourself and fill any moment with something? Do you set your life up, not just in meditation, but in your life, to have a little bit of space? Are you always rushing to the next appointment, or always filling the gap with looking at the next message or some sort of video, etc.? Can you take time when you're on the subway or at a stoplight or waiting in line, and instead of filling it with something, to just come present and breathe? And then notice when, it's just a noticing, it's just a gentle noticing. My ego is feeling bored, my ego is possibly resisting. So maybe then it's an opportunity to shine the light on the ego and ask it what it needs. Are you bored, ego? What do you need? It's one way of doing it, just turning it back, asking, who's bored here? Is it me, or is it you, ego? That's one way to ask it. I ask it this way. I ask, when I get lost in these things, sometimes in an emotion or something else, I'll go, or if I'm relating to something that's keeping me out of the present moment, then I'll go, okay, I can't seem to get entrained into the present moment or into meditation, so I'm going to ask myself, I'm bothered by this or that. This thing that I'm bothered with, is that the big I or the little I being bothered? The little I being the ego, the big I being the I that is the self that is connected to all that is. And if it's something that's bothered, and then I'll hear, well, it's the little I that's bothered. And then I'll ask myself, do I choose to align with the little I or big I in my life? And I'll hear the voice say, well, I choose to align with the big I. So is the big I bothered by whatever's going on? The answer is no, the big I's not bothered. Then do I choose to align with the little I or the big I? I choose to align with the big I. So if I sit into the perspective of the big I, am I still bored or am I still bothered? No. Okay, so in this moment, can you align and sit in the seat of the big I? Yes. And from this place, are you present? Are you peaceful? Are you here in alignment and in harmony with what is? Yes. And so for the next few minutes or moments, just sit in that big I. If the little I comes back in, just notice if you're identifying with the little I or if you're returning back to the big I. That's just another little tool that I gave you, a kind of a truncated way of going into the little I and big I. Now ultimately it's just going to come back to returning to this, not just every day, but many moments through the day. Can you come into presence and just be present for 30 seconds to 2 minutes? Give yourself permission to be there for just a short period of time. And then if that elongates and expands into 5 or 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a few times a day, so be it. But give yourself permission to be present and then go do whatever you need to do. But while you're there, sit in, come in. Come into the breath and be present with your breath, present with something on the wall or a flower or a candle or anything that can help you entrain into the moment. And then just be there. And when a thought comes in, even the thought of boredom, you can just acknowledge it. Oh, I notice that's my thought of boredom. Do I choose to empower that thought, or can I just let that float by and I choose to be here for the next 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or whatever it is? And then just let yourself settle, just like we are now. Just coming into the breath, coming into the moment. When those thoughts or resistances come up, just acknowledge them. And then you just gently return to what your intention is, to be present here right now. And then every time you get pulled away, you just come back. You notice you get pulled away. You don't judge yourself for getting pulled away, but if you do judge yourself, you notice that you're judging yourself for getting pulled away. And you acknowledge that and notice that. And just like a dish rag, you just drop it. You let it go and it falls and you stay here. And the sounds that may come up, the cars, the birds, that can all be part of your meditation. You notice it, but your focus remains primarily on your intent, wherever you are. With your breath, with the candle, with the flower, etc. Many blessings. Namaste. Oh, I've been promising to speak about this. Even while the loud bike goes by. I promised to speak about my meditation books. I have a series of 4 books that help guide somebody through the setting up an altar, setting up how to sit into meditation, how to deepen into meditation, where to find your greatest spot to meditate, how to, different stories that I've had along my life that have helped me entrain into deepening into the moment. So these are great shares and great little ebooks that you can buy on my site or at Amazon. And I'll have the link below that you can go check these out if you're interested. Either way, many blessings to you. I'll see you soon. Namaste.